Imagine returning from a dreamlike trip, only to be greeted with the warmest welcome from family and the excitement of planning a lifelong journey together. Toan and Diem arrive at the farm, embraced by Toan's mother and grandmother, who are thrilled about their future. Over a cozy dinner, laughter fills the air as they eagerly discuss trying on wedding dresses and capturing those first magical photos. Tomorrow promises joy, love, and unforgettable memories. Don't miss a single moment of their heartwarming story. Hit that subscribe button and join us as we follow Toan and Diem's journey from love to happily ever after. Toan had just returned from a long and exhilarating trip, his mind still buzzing with the memories of distant landscapes, early morning sunrises, and quiet moments shared with Diem away from the bustling city. The countryside road stretched ahead like a ribbon of calm, lined with tall trees swaying gently in the cool evening breeze. Every turn of the wheel brought him closer, not just to home, but to a sense of comfort he had been missing, a return to the familiar warmth of family. Diem sat beside him, her eyes sparkling as she recounted little stories from the trip, making him laugh softly, their hands brushing occasionally, as if confirming silently that this journey, however brief, had strengthened their bond. As they approached the gate of the farm, a sense of anticipation rose in Toan's chest. The gravel crunched under the tires, announcing their arrival, and there they were, his mother and grandmother, standing at the entrance with radiant smiles that seemed to light up the early evening. Both had been eagerly awaiting their return, their eyes filled with warmth and curiosity about the adventures and experiences they had yet to hear. The sight of them brought a flutter of joy to Diem's heart as well, for she could feel the genuine affection and support surrounding their little family. She stepped out of the car with a gentle smile, greeted by the tender embraces of Toan's mother, who had always been full of care and subtle guidance, and his grandmother, whose presence carried both wisdom and an endearing, playful energy. They exchanged stories about the trip, laughter echoing across the farmyard as Diem described its escapades, and Toan chimed in with small details only he noticed, painting vivid pictures of sun-drenched mornings and quiet nights under starlit skies. Between the playful teasing and gentle inquiries, the conversation naturally drifted toward the future, specifically toward plans that had been quietly forming in Toan and Diem's hearts for some time. His mother's eyes twinkled knowingly, and his grandmother leaned in slightly, prompting them to share what they had been thinking. Diem, ever shy yet filled with bubbling excitement, spoke softly about the idea of trying on wedding dresses, her words laced with anticipation and a hint of nervousness. Toan, feeling the warmth of her hand in his, nodded with a gentle smile, realizing that this moment of openness and family support was as meaningful as the trip itself. His mother's face softened with delight, her voice filled with encouragement as she assured them that she could hardly wait to see the first photos of Diem in a wedding gown. And his grandmother chimed in with cheerful suggestions about how they might make the experience memorable. The farm, with its familiar sense of fresh grass and the faint aroma of a home-cooked dinner, seemed to hum with quiet excitement. Toan glanced at Diem, their eyes meeting in the shared wordless understanding. This was not merely a step toward a wedding. It was the embrace of a future together, blessed by the love and support of the family they cherished. In that simple yet profoundly moving moment, they both felt the promise of what lay ahead, an adventure not just in distant lands, but in life, love, and the countless small, beautiful beginnings that make a family whole. After the warm greetings and laughter in the farmyard had slowly settled, Toan, Diem, his mother and grandmother moved into the cozy dining room, where the soft glow of the evening light filtered through the windows, casting a golden hue over the wooden table set with simple yet inviting dishes. The aroma of freshly cooked food mingled with the gentle scent of the countryside, creating an atmosphere so comforting that it seemed to wrap everyone in a quiet, happy embrace. As they sat down, Diem felt her heart swell with a sense of belonging she had never experienced before. Toan reached across the table, sliding his hand gently into hers, and in that small, tender touch, 1,000 unspoken words of love and gratitude were exchanged. Between bites of the delicious meal, the conversation naturally meandered to the topic they had been quietly anticipating: the wedding. Diem's eyes shone with excitement, her cheeks slightly flushed, as she spoke about the idea of visiting a bridal boutique the very next morning. Toan listened attentively, his smile warm and reassuring, imagining the way she would look in a gown chosen just for her, the way her laughter would fill the room and make every moment unforgettable. His heart seemed to beat a little faster at the thought of walking beside her, holding her hand as they took this next step together. The room seemed to glow even brighter with the shared joy, and even the gentle clatter of cutlery on plates felt like part of the rhythm of a perfect, heartwarming symphony. Toan's mother leaned forward, her eyes sparkling, offering playful suggestions about styles and colors that would suit Diem best, while his grandmother, with her characteristic cheerfulness, began recounting stories of her own wedding day, filling the room with laughter and nostalgic warmth. Diem could feel the love radiating from them, and it gave her a sense of peace and certainty. This wasn't just about choosing a dress or planning a wedding. It was about being surrounded by family who cherished them, who celebrated their happiness as their own. Every glance, every smile, every gentle word spoken across the table seemed to weave a tapestry of joy that wrapped the four of them in a cocoon of shared anticipation. As the meal came to an end, Toan and Diem lingered in conversation, quietly planning the details of the bridal visit. As the evening light outside softened into a gentle twilight, Toan and Diem lingered at the table for a moment, feeling the warmth of the family gathering still glowing around them. The laughter and chatter of the meal had settled into a comfortable quiet, and for a while, it felt as if time itself had slowed, allowing them to savor every detail: the scent of the farm, the gentle creak of the wooden chairs, the soft flicker of the lanterns casting dancing shadows across the room. Toan reached for his phone and opened the calendar app, glancing at Diem with a playful smile. "How about tomorrow morning?" he suggested, a spark of excitement lighting his eyes. Diem's face brightened instantly, her lips curving into a radiant smile as she nodded, almost unable to contain her delight. The idea of visiting the bridal boutique the very next morning filled them both with an exhilarating mix of anticipation and joy. They began to plan the details together: what time they would leave, which stores they might visit first, and even small fantasies about the perfect dress. Toan teased Diem gently about twirling in front of mirrors, while she laughed and threatened to make him try on a tuxedo, knowing full well he would humor her every whim. The room seemed to echo with their laughter, mingling with the soft murmurs of his mother and grandmother, who watched them with fond amusement, their hearts swelling at the sight of the couple so in love, so perfectly in sync. His mother clapped her hands softly, offering suggestions about which boutiques had the most beautiful selections and which photographers might capture the first magical images of Diem in her wedding gown. Her grandmother leaned forward, her eyes twinkling, recounting playful stories from her own youth and adding a few secret tips about how to truly enjoy the experience. Diem listened, her heart full, feeling the love and support of the family envelop her like a warm blanket. Toan squeezed her hand gently, and together they shared a quiet laugh, imagining the delighted expressions on their faces as they captured the first photos of a day that would mark the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. Finally, as the evening wound down, Toan and Diem rose from the table, their spirits high and hearts light. They walked hand in hand through the soft glow of the farmhouse, pausing for a moment to gaze at the stars beginning to peek through the deepening sky. The anticipation of tomorrow was thrilling, but more than that, it was the joy of sharing every step of the journey together, supported, encouraged, and celebrated by the people they loved most. Diem rested her head gently on Toan's shoulder, and he wrapped an arm around her, feeling an overwhelming sense of gratitude for this perfect, peaceful evening. In that serene, joyful moment, they both knew that the next day would be filled with laughter, love, and memories that would last a lifetime. A celebration not only of their union, but of the beautiful, loving family that surrounded them, cheering them on every step of the way. The night lingered, soft and magical, as Toan and Diem dreamed quietly of tomorrow, hearts full of hope and delight, ready to step into the next chapter of their lives together with happiness, laughter, and endless love.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các khán giả của kênh Ní Tử Diễm Review. Vậy là trong câu chuyện của chúng ta ngày hôm nay thì Diễm và Toàn đã có kế hoạch là đi thử váy cưới với nhau. Trong lúc Diễm bước ra từ phòng thử đồ cưới, cô mặc trên mình một chiếc váy cưới rất là đẹp thì mẹ Toàn và Toàn đã cảm thấy rất là bất ngờ. Mọi tình tiết hấp dẫn về câu chuyện tình yêu Diễm và Toàn sẽ còn được kể ở các video tiếp theo. Các bạn hãy bấm vào nút subscribe để đăng ký kênh sẽ nhận được thông báo mới nhất về các tập phim sẽ được phát sóng hàng ngày trên kênh nha. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.